Hello, and welcome to Lesson 21 of Speed Puzzling 101 Tips and Tricks. Quick speed puzzling lessons in usually under 10 minutes. Today's lesson is on using the pick and place method when puzzling. As a disclaimer, there is no single correct way to do a puzzle. My advice may work for some, and it may not work for others. Try as many different methods and approaches as you can and find what works best for you. Before I get into today's lesson, I want to mention that I am taking part in two 24-hour puzzle marathons. One individual one taking place at the end of January, and another one taking place in March with a team. These are both charity events raising money for the Canadian Mental Health Association. If you would like to donate, please click the link in the description below. Any donation, no matter how big or small, is greatly appreciated. Mental health affects all of us. Today's lesson actually builds on lesson 16, which we looked at piece placing with a purpose. Today's is just a little bit more specific. For today's lesson, all you will need is a busy 500-piece puzzle that ideally you've done before. Not absolutely necessary, but definitely a busy puzzle. Some examples from Ravensburger in particular will include puzzles like Cute Kawaii Chaos, Jazzy, Life is a Garden, Hello Vinyl, Pets of Palm Springs, Vintage Travel Guides, Cubby Cats and Porcelain Pups if you don't include the border, Home Sweet Home, and of course, Disney and Pixar color palette. These are all Ravensburger examples, but that's what I'll be using in my example video today. And they're also very recognizable in terms of the space that you'll need. What all these puzzle design images have in common is that there is no large sections where you can break the puzzle down into, and you're going to have most of the pieces will be unique in some sort of way. There's not large sections of color that are filling up various spots on the puzzle. For a proper pick and place puzzle, you do want each piece to be as unique as possible. During this video, I'll be showing two examples of a full pick and place approach. On the left, you will see the puzzle Jazzy, and on the right, you will see the puzzle Life is a Garden. I'll be talking throughout the time lapse of the two videos, things that I need to remind myself of, and strategies that you may want to consider, different approaches, and just thoughts that came to my mind as I was doing these pick and place approaches, and the benefits of using this in your training. Starting off, for a full pick and place, there is no flip and edge building, and there are reasons for that. First, having a border will make the rest of this much more restrictive, which I'll get into. Second, this is good practice for space management and space estimation. You'll see me start by just pulling pieces from the box and placing them on the table. Nothing is being dumped onto the table. I'm doing my best to estimate where they go, where each piece goes based on the image. I'm trying to keep the size as close as possible to the finished puzzle, but it will be a bit bigger as I'm working, as not every piece will be exactly correct and not attached to anything else at the start. This is why not having the border done at the beginning is a benefit. Otherwise, the inside of the puzzle is going to fill fast and get crowded. I am pulling a handful of pieces out of the box all at once and keeping them in my left hand, which is my non-dominant hand, and with my right hand, I am placing the pieces in the approximate location they will go. Be careful not to pick up too many pieces to go into your one hand, or else you will start to drop them. I did that quite a few times in some other attempts. I am not looking for specific pieces. Whatever piece is next in my left hand is the one that's going to go on the table somewhere. Now, sometimes I do forget at the start, but remember after a few minutes that I should be looking at the next piece while I'm placing the piece that is in my right hand. This will get the process moving faster. This is also good dexterity practice for my left hand, as I need to use my fingers to flip and rotate the next piece, while it's also good dexterity for my right hand, as it needs to work on placing that piece without me looking directly at it. You want to place the piece within a few seconds, definitely less than 5 if possible. If you're able to spend 5 seconds per piece or less, and you're consistent all the way through, your time will be in the low 40s for a puzzle. Now, other things will come up, so that's not always consistent, but this is a good way if you're trying to get into the 40s, this is a good way to measure that. Now, I've done each of these puzzles a few times before, so I am familiar with the image. Jazzy I've done somewhat recently, but with a partner, while it has been a while for Life is a Garden. Doing this with an image I'm more familiar with does help working on my speed as well. You'll notice under the box there are random pieces there. These are pieces that are too generic to specifically place in a specific location. For instance, in Life is a Garden, there are some green sections that are so similar I might spend far too long trying to identify a specific piece of grass or leaf this early in the process. I'll leave it and come back when there are more clues. As I continue on, every so often I will pause briefly to make sure I haven't missed any pieces that connect to each other. It's important to double check this to maintain space management. Also, the more pieces that are together, the less you'll need to think about where the next piece goes. You'll see that the puzzle appears to be much larger than the final version at this point, but suddenly that will change as I recognize that certain larger chunks can now join together. As these puzzles come to an end, I'll explain the purpose of the pick and place practice. It forces you to be continually moving. There is no time to sit and search for a certain piece on the table or in the box. If you aren't sure of a piece within a few seconds, put it in the little puzzle jail and come back to it. It helps you practice your ability to determine which direction a piece goes. It helps you to practice placing a piece with one hand while you're looking at a piece in your other hand. It keeps both hands involved at all times, so you aren't leaning on one of them or relaxing and slowing down. It helps you with your space management. It helps you to remember an image in more detail. There's just so many benefits to this training method. Pick and place is not an ideal approach to use with a brand new puzzle or a brand new brand that you're not familiar with. If you're not familiar with the image, a busy puzzle can be a challenge to find small details. It is worth practicing though with a new puzzle every so often, as it does help to develop your ability to search and find details quickly. This is also good practice for a puzzle you are trying to get faster and faster with. This will help you to learn the specifics about the image and the pieces, so when you go back to the usual approach, you'll be able to combine what you normally do along with a pick and place approach as well. Doing this method as practiced helped me to get my second puzzle under 30 minutes, which was Cute Kawaii Chaos. And now I'm doing it with other puzzles to hopefully get a few more of them that I've been stuck at, maybe in the low 30s, to hopefully get a few more into the sub 30s. So try the full pick and place method in your training. There are very few approaches that encompass so many skills all at once. That is it for this video. Let me know what you think in the comments. Click like if you enjoyed it and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of the exciting content coming up on this channel. Thank you for watching. I will see you next week for 2 Speed Puzzling 101 lessons as I prepare for my first individual 24-hour marathon of 2026. Both those videos will be focused on how to prepare to do a 24-hour puzzle marathon. That is it for today. Thank you for watching. Class dismissed. And until next time, as always, happy puzzling. Bye.